Ladies and gentlemen, this is podcast number 2.
Number 2, but it's the 99th best cab story that Jimy Hendricks has ever had.
We're doing a countdown.
Right. We started at 100, and now we're at 99.
Very good, Tyler. He's so good at math.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't give me a list, so this is all just off the cuff.
Seat of the pants.
Right. Just
seat of the pants.
Yeah.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
Shooting from the holster, can we say that too?
From the hip?
Yeah. From the hip. All right. Well, so I met Jimy Hendricks a few months ago, back in February. It's in June now, so it's been 6 months, and he's probably the funniest guy I've ever heard, and he told me...
No, you are.
And he told me he had 100 great cab stories that people would pay us money for, so that we could publish books.
Tyler, I have zillions of cab stories.
Bazillions?
Zillions.
Wait, 100,000 gazillion stories? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we went through 100 last time, and he told me about how he picked up 2 people from the airport to the MGM that ended up asking him to be in the wedding, and he sang at their wedding.
Actually, it was from Trump Tower.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't MGM?
No.
Why do I always assume
It was Trump Tower because they were Republicans. No, I don't know. I just made that up.
Trump Tower. Okay, I get it.
I wasn't politically smart back then, so I wasn't prejudiced.
Right. You're just like, I'll take liberals.
I was an independent cab driver back then.
Right. You don't vote for people.
Well, I believe in choice.
Right.
I don't want
to.
I don't want to force anybody to have a baby if they don't want to, which makes me a Democrat.
Right.
But I believe in guns, which makes me...
All right. Let's go with 99.
All right, number 99.
99.
Here's what happened. I'm at the Hard Rock Hotel. It is my very first night as a cab driver. I am nervous. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I can't even work my meter. You have to turn on the meter when they get in the cab. This guy gets in my cab.
Let me ask you this. Are your hands sweaty or are they white-knuckled? Like, how nervous are you?
I wasn't sweaty. I was just insecure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no, I'm that way most of my life, actually.
Yeah, I don't recall being sweaty or wet, but... So this guy gets in my car and he goes, dude, take me to the airport right now. Well, the airport is the closest point B on a cab driver's world. If you go to the airport on Hard Rock, from the Hard Rock to the airport, it's like $6.95.
From what I remember, it was a little under $10.
It's $6.95.
Okay. I'm sure you know.
Were you a cab driver in a past?
No. I was unfortunately, I've gone to Vegas a little bit too much, and I'm like, oh, hey, take me to the MGM Grand.
That's the second closest.
Right.
From the airport. That cab ride costs about $7.80.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but
I think you're right.
So
we'll go with that.
This guy goes, dude, take me to the airport. I've got this hot chick. She's coming in on a flight right now, and I have to go pick her up. I said, okay, all right. And so I drive to the airport, and we go to the drop-off. And he goes, no, you got to go to the pickup. There's a drop-off area, and there's a pickup area.
Wait. We're going to have to define this because I'm confused, and I'm sure the audience is confused. So be a little bit more specific.
At McCarran Airport, there's a drop-off area and there's a pickup area.
Okay.
I took him to the drop-off area and he told me to go around and go to the pickup area because that's where his girlfriend's going to be.
Arrival and departure, I think
hot
is
chick.
what the airports call it.
Whatever. Can I finish my story or do you want to? All right, so I go to the pickup area because that's where the luggage comes down on the conveyor belt. And so I don't know what I'm doing. And there is an okay to wait for your passenger area that I didn't know anything. Because when you're in the cab line at McCarran Airport, they herd you through like cattle. Right? They just you go and you go to a sign number.
They get you out of there.
Yeah, they get you in, they get you out.
Right.
Because there's thousands of people.
Right.
Waiting to gamble and get hookers. And I had all the hookers they could ever ask for. But this guy he brought his own hooker.
He brought his own hooker?
Yeah, and she was coming on in a later flight.
Hey, can I interrupt you real quick?
He didn't even know.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
His hooker was coming to Vegas. What?
I used to go to Vegas once a quarter.
Once a quarter? What's once a quarter?
Once a quarter, every single business person in America knows that once a quarter is every 4 months.
Well, Mr. Mathematician, Mr. Mathaholic, I don't know. I'm just a cab driver. I'm just a simple man. God. Okay, so once a quarter.
Yeah, so... you said.
So once a quarter is 4 times a semester?
No, dude, Jimmy,
I never claimed to be a mathematician.
All right, so if you have an entire annual calendar, it's 365 days.
What's an annual?
Annual is once a year. So, we go around the sun once every single year.
Oh.
Except for we have this little quarter that's sitting there.
Oh.
And this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but every 4 years we add that up, and that's why sometimes we have February 29th.
And that's when a girl has her period?
No.
He's strangling me!
You've got to understand this, Jimmy. All right, so every year it takes 365 days.
I knew that.
All right. For the Earth to get around.
For the menstrual cycle.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
Women, okay, so
I'll shut up.
Typically cycle every 28 days.
28?
Yeah.
Like the month of February?
It's a weird day. I don't know why they typically cycle.
Is there a full moon?
No, the full moon happens, I think there's...
when they're pregnant. Was there a full moon last night? I think there was. Robin told me there was a full moon last night.
It wasn't full. It was
all right, whatever, dude.
2 shades of a sliver.
Okay.
All right.
2 shades of a...
2 shades of a sliver.
50 grays.
No, not...
All right, so anyway, I go back to the Hard Rock. And this guy loses his mind because he thinks he tipped the valet $100 bill, which was a total accident. He thought it was a $1 bill because he's a cheap motherfucker. But he lost his mind and he made every valet.
Well, let me ask you this. Was his intention to tip $100?
No!
He was just a cheap motherfucker acting like an asshole.
He thought it was a 1 and he gave away $100 bill. And he discovered that in the back of my cab with his new girlfriend who just came from here from Florida or whatever, you know. And so he was losing his mind and he made all the valet empty their pockets, and I sat in my cab and watched this through my windshield.
Did the valets actually agree with this fucking crap?
No, they're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even remember you, but here's my pockets. Check them. And nobody had $100 bill in their pockets. And so the guy looked like an asshole. And
the guy was full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And you had to watch this embarrassing
He was his own.
harassment.
This is my first night as a cab driver. And that's my 99.
That's your number 99.
That's my 99. So let's say goodbye to the cruel world. And
You know what? Let me tell you about a tip story.
oh God.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I actually.
We're actually going long, dude. We're like 9 minutes and 58 seconds right now.
Well, typically we go,
Take your time. Take your time.
25 minutes.
No pressure.
30 minutes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got. All right. So when I've showed up, let me ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
First off, before I even tell my story, what do you tip waitresses?
My penis.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No dollar amount.
Oh.
You can't tip waitresses $6.50 every single time.
Every waitress I find is sexy and hot. And show my penis. They're okay with it.
No, you can't tip $6.50 for everything
sorry.
you do in your life.
I didn't know what you. All right. Well, I just give them. I give them my love and honor.
Yeah.
And my bravery, and I tell them if the world ends tomorrow, I will dig a big hole in the mountain and drag him by the feet into a cave.
So give me a percentage. Like if your total lunch is $30, what do you tip?
I'm not good at math, dude. You're putting me under a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Let's see, 26%.
26%? That's a good tip. Most people don't tip that much.
Well,
obviously you've been in the service industry, otherwise you wouldn't tip that much.
You know, I always said, anybody who's never been in the service industry needs to be in the service industry.
You know what's scary? I've never once actually ever been in the service industry.
You know what's scary is the homeowner.
Right. So, I actually, can I tell you a secret, Jimmy?
I mean, the homeowner that I'm renting a room from.
No, I know what you're talking
scary.
about.
That's fucking scary.
Can I tell you a secret?
What?
All right. So I was a manager of a restaurant.
A restaurant?
Yeah.
Restaurant. Okay, so we're coming back to the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh.
And this guy decides that he is missing $100 bill.
Right.
And he's fucking pissed. He's like, I tipped the valet guy and he didn't give me I gave him 100, but he didn't give me the change for the 100. And so he gets out of the cab when we get back to the Hard Rock, and he goes up to the valet guys and he's like, which one of you put me in the taxi?
Did he poke someone's chest? Or was he just like on the table?
Yeah, he did.
With his hand.
He was very
He poked someone's chest. Oh my gosh.
And he made every valet guy open up their pockets. He's like, let me see your pocket. And they're like, I don't have any hundreds. I have but 20s and a 5 and and then he's like, I'm like, dude, forget about it. You lost the $100 bill. Okay. He goes, I thought it was a 1 and I gave him 100. So he lost the $100 bill. This is my very first night.
First night ever as a taxi driver in Las Vegas after 17 years. No, 17. No, this is my day one as a cab driver. Day one, prior to, why don't I say prior instead of after 17 years?
I've been a professional driver for 17 years. 7 of those 17 years, I was a cab driver.
Right.
So, it was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing. The guy made every valet guy pull out his pocket. I'm sitting in my cab and I'm watching these guys. And they're like, empty out your pockets. And they're like, see, dude, I don't have any hundreds.
Did he have a gun?
He did it to like 7 or 8 people.
Did he have a gun? While he was interrogating them?
Why would he have a gun?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, just...
That's ridiculous. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's true. I wouldn't make it up. That was my first night as a cab driver.
Oh, man.
I got the most bizarrest situation, which was not unusual because my cab job became the most what was
Bearable?
Unbearable? No, it was just incredible situations that got handed to me every night. Every night.
And that was just night one.
I would do 36 to 40 rides a night.
Right.
And that was just one.
Just one of them.
We have lots of stories to tell, which has been, I've been trying to do this podcast for
a week?
No, since 2012.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've had this idea since 2012?
Yeah, I've got a lot of cab passengers that have been friends.
Well, let me tell you this. I've never been good at tipping.
Yeah.
And I go to the airport and I tip the guy that puts my luggage on. And then I tip the guy that parks my car. And then I don't know when to tip and when not to tip. And then sometimes, like, I'll go to a restaurant and they'll print off the ticket and they'll be like, what's your tip for the waiter? And I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. But then there's also...
It's just 20%.
Right, yeah,
That's
no.
math.
Easy. 20%, 30%.
You're brilliant at math.
I know, I'm good at math. I'm good at math.
So what, you don't know how to add 20% onto a cab ride?
No, they added a second person onto the tip line. I was like, who the fuck
Who did that?
I can't remember the restaurant, but they're like, what's your waitress tip? And then what's your hostess tip? And I was like, wait a minute.
That's when you stand up and go, I know karate.
No, so what I did was I tipped the entire thing to the waitress, and I just assumed.
I know karate. Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Apparently,
David Stewart.
Your host knows karate too. I know karate.
So I actually met a cab driver in Las Vegas, and he took
There's
me.
only 3,000 of them.
You were 3001?
No, I was $29.99.
29. Well,
there's 3,000 cab drivers on the streets of Las Vegas every 24 hours.
Here's my issue. I had the cab driver pick me up, and he took me to get a companion and some white powder. Let's call it that.
By companion, what are you talking about?
Oh, just a friend that I didn't know until that moment.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
White powder, you mean like foot powder?
Let's call it sugar.
You mean like your feet stunk?
Well, no. I mean, well, sometimes, yeah. I guess so. And when he dropped me off at the MGM,
okay.
No, I didn't know how much to tip the taxi cab driver. Is there a certain, like, mandatory or, like, just regulatory?
There's a polite fee of 20%.
Polite fee.
There's a
I didn't know that.
Fee of 15%.
Why didn't you guys...
And then there's the ego, I'm rich and you're not, 30% or 50%.
Oh, 50%?
Mm-hmm.
See, if you guys had this printed and, posted on the back of the passenger side.
Yeah, I put that on my...
You have it? Oh, you did. Okay. Yeah. This guy didn't.
I put a little phrase. All my wife and child were killed on flight. What's that? The Indonesian flight that.
Oh, I don't know.
My wife and kids were on that flight, and I am now I knew a cab driver that did that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, he put a picture of his wife and kids, and he said, I lost my wife and kids on that Indonesian flight.
Let me ask you this. All right. What do you tip a waitress?
With my fingers?
No. With money.
Oh.
Jimmy.
I'm sorry. I would never do that, dude. That's rude. That's hashtag pound me.
What's hashtag?
It's pound.
You're
pound.
Way younger than I am.
Pound me too. You've seen that, right? All right. So anyway,
what do you tip a waitress?
So you had two different people. You had a hostess and a waitress, and then there was a polite fee or
right. I never know what to tip. Okay, let's just go through the whole thing. Let's start from the top. we'll go to the bottom. All right. The most common thing
I think
is...
we're running long on this podcast.
All right.
All right, let's get back.
I hope people still want to hear this. Say goodbye.